welcome to the Back Post Podcast, your place for updates about RLGLA and other Rocket League news. I'm your host, Shade. I'm here with Bacon, the manager of the Legends, as well as Pitch, the owner of the league and manager of the Dragons. Guys, we had a great week with the draft and a competitive, action-packed week one. We start out with the draft recap, and it started out before the draft took place with a trade. Bacon, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, that was a shocker. Atlanta franchise tagged Koa, and then the season ended, and next thing we knew, Galaxy was trading their expansion number one overall pick for Koa to Atlanta. So that was definitely a shocker, but something nice to give us our week of an off season, a little bit of flair, to kind of ponder what Mom Debbie was going to do at 101, and then we got our answer pitch.
Yeah, I mean that trade shocked us all, and as an owner, I mean, we'd love to see action-packed, ball busting trades like that. It ended up having Aiden go number one overall to the Stallions. That's a little bit of a switch up for Mom Debbie there, as he played in the shadow of Koa all season. But we saw it tonight, and we'll get into that a little deeper later on. But him and Aiden, they meshed pretty well.
Absolutely. And then a little bit further down the first round, we saw Slim Weenie return to Dallas, them trying to continue that chemistry and repeat their playoff run that they had in season two. And then you surprised everybody with your pick at 116 pitch. Tell us about that.
You know, I'm the co-owner for Shades Fantasy League, and he was pretty upset, and I didn't get him on my team for this season. And but me and Trap have been playing together for pretty long time now, and we ran a couple with Anomaly, who we also call Max, but who you might hear us call him that a couple times. But I mean, we got the job done a couple times before, and Trap returns to Philly at the 16th overall pick in the first round, and was it a reach? Do you think?
We'll find out.
Yeah, we're going to find out. And I'm going to bring one up here just because it's right after. You picking your buddy allowed me to pick my friend of 20 years, my co-season 2 RLGLA champion, Shade,
Goosebumps.
at 117.
Goosebumps.
I was floored. I was sitting at dinner in Orlando, Florida, pondering decisions on what I was going to eat when you picked Trap. And to be honest, I was intoxicated because so I had to kind of double take, and I could not send you Shade's name fast enough when you picked
No, I think as soon as I made the pick, I think literally 30 seconds later, not even maybe, you're like, Shade, do it now.
Oh yeah, like before anything happens, before my phone dies, before Orlando falls in a sinkhole, lock it in.
Bacon and I had talked about it prior. We thought, well, if it got to you, Pitch, we're like, I'm probably going there. If he doesn't go with his friend.
Well, look, Koala and Trap were playing twos like all week leading up to the draft, and I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna steal them from me. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, there's no. I'm like, I gotta start thinking of backups. I gotta pick here, and then
People started falling, so
Yep, that was that was the trouble there with Waffles, a blue chip player in our league, falling all the way to 14. Koala, who had already tagged Kago, who had an amazing playoffs, really got on everybody's radar in the playoffs. So that was an easy tag for him, 4 for 4 in game. And for a blue chip to fall to 14, there were only 6 when the draft started. So for one to fall to 14 there, that was something, and I mean that set that ripple effect and allowed you to get your boy Trap and me to get Shade.
yeah, we were in Discord with a couple guys who were in the draft, and we were floored that blue chips just kept falling towards the end of that first round.
hey, do you want to explain what a blue chip is a little bit for people who might not know?
Absolutely. So blue chip is okay. So first and foremost, if you are a GC, at least from what we're able to see through verification, you're going to get blue chipped. We will use it for people that have been consistently high Champ 3. You're right there on that cusp. It's just a way for us to guarantee that upper level talent is spread out amongst the teams, so it's all competitive. We've got plenty of GCs now, we've got plenty of champs, and we've got a few diamonds. We want everybody to have a concurrent experience for the 12 weeks that we're doing this, plus the cup time. So that's why that kind of went into place, and yeah.
Yeah, and if you're kind of new to the RLGLA scene, one of our biggest things that we kind of built our foundation was kind of even teams spread across the board. I mean, it's it's not that fun when you go up against a team with 3 GCs and you're a team full of champ ones. So that's kind of our thing, how we decided how we're going to kind of balance out the teams, make everything even and fun throughout the match, throughout the season. And so far it's worked out, pretty greatly. Thanks to these guys who gave us the idea on that. And, they're part of the committee that kind of brings everything together, kind of the glue of the league. So appreciate you guys for being there for me, doing that. And yeah, that's it.
Absolutely. And the last note that I wanted to make here, Kairuto fell to the second round, the sixth pick of the second round, going back to Memphis, where they were before. I thought that was a phenomenal pickup in the second round for them. Really think a lot of them as a player, so that was a good snag there in the second round.
Yeah, so a couple teams this season are, running it back from season 2. I mean, we got Philadelphia pretty much, three players that were on the roster last season, D2. Same with Memphis and Kairuto, Indigo, and DK. So should be a fun matchup through every season.
If only we could have somehow gotten Jay with us. League would have been in trouble. But
Jay just wanted to be a manager so bad.
It's bummer.
He did.
But we had a great week 1 and some really fun matchups to watch. You guys want to go into the recap of the week we just had? We did the draft. That was awesome. Then we started out. I assume these are in order. Pitch? You put these in.
I believe yes. The only one not in order is
Yeah, for some reason we're on bottom. I mean, that's kind of low blow.
Yeah, Death Valley and New York are flip flopped.
All right, so we started out with Las Vegas versus Myrtle Beach. And what went on there, y'all?
Las Vegas stepped up. They came out, got a 3-0 sweep. Expected it to be maybe a little bit closer of a matchup, but it is early in the season. I mean, you may hear me say that again. Early in the season, it's kind of tough to really gauge where teams are going to be. You haven't had a lot of time to find that groove, build that chemistry. But Las Vegas did what they needed to do, hit the ground running, got the 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great series to watch. So we actually had in game 1 a little bit of a server issue, and we saw the Thunderbirds actually go up 2-0 in that game. I gave them the choice if they wanted to keep that score going into the next game or, kind of just wipe it out, restart. The manager, Chronicle of the Thunderbirds, opted to just give them the fresh start. They were like, I'd rather have a fair win than a pity win. It kind of bit them in the butt. They got swept in this one.
But major respect for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a respect
Absolutely.
move.
Yeah, Chronicle, Chiron, who's a rookie to the league, and Archer, who's also a rookie in the league. I mean, welcome to the big leagues. I mean, this is what you got to do. You got to get it done. And Chipmunk, Anti-Shift, and Wrath Titan, who's the number 3 overall pick for the Vegas, they got it done.
I like Wrath. Yeah, that was a fun match to watch. I tried to watch as much of these as I could. I got a weird work schedule. I did watch the next one on the docket, the Philly San Fran, the rematch of the championship. Sorry, Pitch. This one turned out better for you.
You got to do it to me like that. Yeah, these guys beat my butt in the championship, but it felt good going back into San Fran and winning, even though it wasn't the same roster. But yeah, that one felt good. We swept them. I got a bunch of points on this game, but I would love to see what it was like from outsider perspective. Me not playing in this game, so
Yeah. Um. So I believe this was the one that was touted as game of the week, right? Uh.
um, I don't think we had a game of the week week
It
one
was kind of
because
the
we
game
don't
of the
know.
week just because it was Philly, San Fran, just playing the championship. Even though San Fran's a wipe at roster, uh,
Yeah.
it's the two teams that met, and that's. I mean, they were the first season as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
season one and season two both
so,
had grand finals. Philadelphia versus San Fran.
so San
San
Fran
Fran,
knows how to draft.
yeah, San Fran taking it both times to us. So
Yeah. I do think with time, San Fran will get better. But I'm very curious to see if they can overcome that hurdle quickly. Because that we ran into a hiccup relatively early season two, due to some internet issues, and we kind of fizzled out near the end of the regular season, but we're able to overcome that in the playoffs. Does this San Fran roster have that same resolve? I'll be excited. I'm a fan of San Fran because that's the team that took me. That's the first team I was on in this league. So I definitely want to see them compete and do well. I'll be rooting for them.
Next game, I was looking forward to, just because I'm close with the owner there in the Galaxy versus the Hayes. Plus, Galaxy traded their number one overall to take Koa instead of whoever they could get the 101. And so I was interested to see how that chemistry was that Boomer had been talking about. And that went well for him.
That's an understatement. So this match, no disrespect to Hayes in any way, shape, or form, but I mean it got out of hand quickly. Um, Bit of work to do with Hayes. Right after the match, they had a little bit of turnover with their manager, um, and I mean they're going to be a different roster coming out week two, so it's a reset for them. They need to look at this as a preseason game
Definitely.
because they couldn't ever get their feet solidly planted for this. Galaxy steamrolled them from start to finish.
And we'll touch on that Hayes stuff a little bit later because some more interesting things happened with them.
Hmm.
yeah, and no biases or hate to either team, but I mean, it was just clear to everybody. Galaxy dominated in this matchup. They went up in game one. I think they won 6-0. And then next game they come out, put up 6 again to nothing. Almost got the perfect sweep. I'm looking at the stats now. And then the next one they put 5-1 up on them. So it was just an absolute blowout from start to finish. Boomer, Koa, and Grant on that team. I mean, absolutely just blew Hayes out of the water. It wasn't even close. But like you guys said, I mean, it's they got to look at this game, put it behind them. They have a completely different roster now, and we'll touch up on that later. But it's Hayes has a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, and I think they'll turn around. They got some good talent on that team. Uh, they don't look bad. They just ran into a buzzsaw. Uh, the next game we come across was Monterey. Is that how you say that pitch?
Uh,
Monterey?
Monterey.
Monterey, yeah,
I know, I'm
Monterey.
just giving you crap.
Dude, during the draft, I swear I got
Yeah,
yelled at 60 times. As soon as I
hilarious.
looked over at the chat, people were putting like the
We got
pronunciations of it.
we got Monterey taking out Memphis 3-1 with our first match of week one where a game is taken.
Yeah, this was an interesting one. This was the debut of Log, who went number two overall. Very highly rated off of the scouting scrims before the draft. And he didn't disappoint, but he didn't take over either. I was excited for this one because Memphis has Indigo. He's one of my favorite players to watch. And, they were able to get a game. Just the combination of Log and Drunken Tiger was a little bit too much for them to handle.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing about this Memphis roster. You should not look down to them when you go into a game with them. I mean, every game in this series, they gave it to them. Even winning in game two, I think by 2 goals, it was 3-1. First game was a little bit shaky for them, bringing it back to season three from season two. But what a great series this was. I mean, it could have gone either way every game, and it was a good one to cast.
Then we go into the Death Valley Reapers versus the Convicts. This match blew my mind personally after everything we saw with Koala as manager. He made some crazy moves. He ended up dropping both of his draft picks and Waffles in Chicago and picking up 2 UK players, I believe. They're overseas, Baxter and Craney. And they end up shocking the world with a 3-1 victory over Convicts. How'd you all feel about that? That was wild.
I mean, so he tags Kago. He gets Waffles to fall to him at 14. Okay.
He was stoked.
And then 30 hours before game time, cuts both of them. Due to whatever. Let's not get into that. And then he signs Baxter, who we know a little bit from our server, and Craney, who, I had no idea the skill level of this guy. And, I mean, so I'll put it out there. They scrimmed... Oh, wait, who did they scrim?
Us.
Galaxy.
Oh, they scrimmed Philly.
I thought it was Galaxy. You're right, it's Philly.
And they beat Philly in their scrim. And then they scrimmed us, and we did get the better of them. So I had no idea what to expect coming into this. Casey has Louis. Everybody loves Louis. Louis's been playing out of his mind in scrims and just any sort of games that have gone on leading up to this. So I would have bet everything that this series was going a different way than 3-1 to Death Valley.
And during that scrim, I mean, we were, first time playing with a sub that we just traded for. And, I even with that, playing the first time together as a team, I was kind of going in saying like, oh, this is kind of an easy dub. No, they gave it to us. They beat us 3-1. Brainy, I was not expecting that. This guy is insane. His mechanics as a C2 player is just absolutely nuts. And Koala and Baxter, they matched his energy very well. And proud of Koala for taking over. Doing his manager duties, doing what he had to do just to get some active players on the roster, and it worked out for him.
Yeah, that's the grittiest win of week one. Really had the roster management that had to go into that. I mean, kudos, chef's kiss on week one, Koala.
Absolutely.
I love
dropping
the demo plays from Craney.
Whew.
Which Craney, sign my freaking profile, man. My favorite player in the league.
Absolutely. I mean, his one goal he had, he like triple tapped it off his backboard and put it in. Oh my! Louis, Flakes, and D-Fane had no idea what to do, but what an absolute blessing of a managing job by Koala.
Yeah, it was great. I loved that game because I was watching that scrim they did against the Dragons, and Koala and I both were like, this week is like a preseason game. You just got to fill each other out. So the fact that they made that work with good rotations and great plays, awesome. I love seeing that from that team.
Yeah, also, the other biggest thing is Craney doesn't calm.
No, he doesn't have a microphone that works with the controller he has. So he can hear everybody else on his team, but he cannot calm, which is wild.
Yeah. I mean, the Death Valley is running some sideshow stuff, and they pulled out a dub on that. I couldn't believe, 2/3 comms with 2 EU players, brand new to the team.
Yeah, love Baxter too. We've known him since before the pandemic. So
yeah.
Craney was on a roster last season. He was on the Pioneers. He got little to no play time with them. As Rand took all the starts from him. But I'm thinking that their season would have went a little differently if he was in the starting lineup.
Possibly. We go from that absolute shocker. It was a doubleheader that night. We watched that, and then my team, Bacon's team, we got to play. I got to ride the bench for most of it, but our rookies came out on top of D2 3-1, and I gotta tell you, my kid thought I was crazy because I was losing my crap over here every time I could see Bard get a score. We saw Count get a score. Mythic's doing his thing. I was happy to be on the bench watching them do their thing.
Yeah, here's. Oh, go ahead.
It's a little tough because I definitely like to play. I don't think you do what we did last season if you don't like to get out there and play. But once this team became 5 people, kind of just wanted to sit back and see what these dudes do. The first time that we got into VC, everything was real chill. Like all of our schedules match up. It's just kind of fits. So being able to sit back and watch, Mythic and Count, who are new homies, and Bard, who's multi-year homie, just joined the league. A little bit of turmoil with everything, but then he comes out and he's getting his first few goals, and then we had them close out the series. They dropped the first game, and then Shade and I went in, but then we didn't play again. They won game 3.
We had to give them a little time to warm up, I think. I know Count didn't love the way he played in the first game. He went into training as soon as he got out of game 2. He went straight into training to kind of warm up a little bit better, and you could see it paid off.
But Pitch, like you did with your game, what's your opinion on this as an outsider?
So this was also one I was looking forward to. So I knew from the beginning, as every team needs to submit their starting lineup. I saw you had Mythic, Count, and Bard on that starting lineup, and I'm like, here's the biggest story of the season. Wolf, who played all of last season in Korea, he's now back in the States. And I thought, from game 1, he came out, scored a hat trick right away, which ended up winning the game for them. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is built different here in the States. Like you said, you guys lost that one. Bard scoring his first goal in the league. That was great to cast. I can't lie. I was screaming for the guy. But D2, they looked good. And then you guys came in, you guys handed it to him. I'm pretty sure it was like 5-1, maybe? Yeah, 5-1.
Ugly.
Yeah, it was pretty ugly. Bacon, I know, you're a manager now, you got to make these decisions. You're the reigning offensive player of the year. It's got to be hard to sit the bench now. Shade, you were, part of that San Francisco run that you guys had that won the championship.
Yeah. Anything to keep me off a graphic, though, Pitch.
Yeah, anything to keep you off the graphic. We don't want you there.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, and it's no disrespect to any of the guys or anybody that comes off of the bench. Like, I'm one of the older people probably in the league. I've got kids, and that's as great as it is doing my thing. There's nothing better than seeing your kids shine. So being able to see these rookies come out and do what I would have bet good money that Shade and I could have done. Like, you don't need me. You don't need Shade. 2 of the 3 defending champs. Go on with it. Like, I could not have been more happy with how that series ended. It gave me more joy than if I would have been in there scoring goals. I don't care about individual accolades. We win, we lose, whatever. These guys are getting this experience, and that's going to carry them for season 4, 5, whatever, and help their rating, help them to do better things going forward. And that's what we're here for. When I messaged people about who I was drafting in the first round, I talked about a winning culture. And if you weren't ready to buy into it, I wasn't looking at you. And I got some positive and negative responses to that. And then Mythic fell to me. And, there might be 5 people that messed up. So.
Yeah, I think there definitely did. Mythic showed his stuff. But another big thing I wanted to point on was after you guys won game 2, you came back with the same lineup for game 1.
Ooh,
and I was shocked. I'm like, oh no.
So
I'm like,
yeah,
you were pulling the pitchiest of pitches.
yeah. How much criticism did you get? And then I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that, and I did it week one. But it's okay. So no disrespect to D2. I felt confident about this matchup with me, Shade, and Mythic. As a manager, I had to see what I had in Count and Bard. That's the only way I can give them reasonable playtime. And I said I wasn't gonna sub after a win, but the way we won game two, I was like, okay, I'm gonna put the guys in there, let them do it. If they lose game three, then me, Mythic, and Shade will wrap up the series. And
And you
I
did
messaged
text
that.
me. You
Yeah.
messaged me before you made that decision just to let me know, like, hey, I think I'm gonna do this, and I was like, yeah, let's
Yep.
do it.
Yeah, I think the way that you came out in game two, like winning 5-1, I think you could afford to put them in, and if they lost, I think you were
Yeah.
probably confident enough in winning two straight after that.
And
I
I'm
mean, it was a blowout in game two.
and look at the confidence boost that had to have given those guys. The BDE that they're going to carry into week two now, because they already know that they're the starting lineup against Hayes. Like,
You heard it here first.
so every time that we get on to play and practice, that's the threes team. They're playing. And, we'll be there to clean up if need be. We're going to be there to coach. Um, if I don't get enough games in this season, fine. My team will be there. Better believe it. So
Yes.
that's
So
the way.
one question I actually had was Mythic, being a high rank, he's a blue chip, obviously, GC. What was his attitude going into the game, playing with two lower end guys? I mean, Count, is known to be a twos main and, Bard's in the diamond range. So did he keep a good attitude about it? He didn't care or?
If he cared, he didn't really show it. I'm sure there were some maybe nerves to it, and maybe adverse feelings. You always want to go out there with uh, higher ranked guys. I'll just say it that way. Um, and but the couple times that they've gotten to play together wasn't bad. So he didn't have anything negative to really go off of. So I'm sure there were some frustrations, and that's going to come, but we'll work through that.
Awesome. Yeah, great win.
All right. So moving on to matches we just got done watching. We had New York play Omaha, which I was watching and I was shocked about. New York swept them. I did not see a sweep coming myself, but they swept them with a 3-0. You cast that pitch, right?
Yeah, I casted that one alone, and
Yeah.
let me tell you, I was just as you. I was not expecting that.
It was pretty shocking. Uh, Omaha has Jay, which is our GC from last season on San Fran.
And reigning MVP.
Yeah. And they picked up Code, right? Code to their second, and then who's their third is either Chadwick or Skull. So I mean, I wouldn't expect them to get swept. If they're gonna lose a game, I figured that they might lose a series, but a sweep was shocking.
Yeah,
So,
well, here's the thing. I mean, 5 minutes before, I mean, I could see everybody's voice chats.
yeah.
That's one of the perks being the owner. But I saw Code and Chadwick just in there alone, and 5 minutes before the game, I messaged JT. I'm like, "Yeah, where are you?" And he's like, "I don't want to talk about it." I'm like, "Oh, you're still at work? Like, what's going on?" And he's like, "I just walked in my door." I'm like, "Oh, this guy." I was like, "Are you still starting?" He's like, yeah." He's like, "Oh man." I was like, "This guy is going into the game, no warm ups, and no offense to the guy, but I mean, it clearly showed his mechanics were off that are usually on. Rotations were off. Code and Chadwick had to step up for him, but 3-0 to the Knights, and no harm, no foul to those guys. They played a great series, but I think, in my opinion, Omaha should have won this one.
Um, I didn't get to watch this one, but I mean, I love Taco. Had Taco not been tagged, that would have been an immediate consideration for me at six. Um, and Reckless is on that team. He's another one from our server. So they definitely put a solid lineup out of there. I would never have expected a sweep. I think it's just that's one, as I said I was gonna say, they're gonna need time. Um, Jay took code off of some vibes, so it's gonna take time to get that together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're a deadly duo if they can figure it out for sure. It was blessed to see Demo back in the league. He paired up really, really well with Reckless and Taco. I mean, they played a flawless game. Speaking in terms of rotations and being in a good position. Um, I didn't see Reckless play too much on Kansas City last season, but from what I heard, he's a great player, and all three of them guys they showed it tonight.
For sure. I love Reckless. He's a good guy. So I'm glad that he did well in getting that 3-0 sweep. But sad for my guy Jay and my guy Code. Now we move to a game that we just got done watching before loading up the podcast here. Both of you cast this game. It was a good game. It went to 5. 3-2. Palm Beach takes it after Atlanta traded away Koa to get Aiden. Was it a mistake?
This one was great.
Yeah, from the second that you had posted the schedule, once we knew the rosters, I've been looking forward to this match, just to kind of see these duos go at each other, and as I said on the stream, see which third is going to step up more for their team. I mean, the series, Atlanta took the first 2 games, close games, and then Palm Beach roared back, winning the final 3.
Yeah, the first game 5 ends in a reverse sweep. I mean, at the end of round 1, it can't get better than that. I mean, you got Aiden and King of the World facing off against each other. Teammates all last season, killed the game, made it to they had to beat us to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, hell of a run for them guys. But this was such a fun game. Oh my God, Atlanta takes it 2-0, coming out strong. The biggest thing was Garden scoring first in every single game.
That was wild.
Yeah, absolutely nuts.
Yeah, that's an incredible weapon, taking the lead in every single game early. So whatever they're doing to make that happen, keep that up and build around it.
Yeah, in game 5, I mean, we were like, please don't let Garden score first. Change the mold, change the mold. But it ended up happening anyway. So, I mean,
Yeah,
them guys look good.
you guys
Temporal.
are kind of burying something here. Breezy changed his name, man.
Oh, this guy. Breezy, if you're listening, and I swear to God if you're not listening, but you are listening because you're a homie, change your damn name.
Bring Breezy back.
Yeah, it ain't the one. I don't even remember what it is now. Oh, because it's right in front of my face. Boostrom. What even is that? You DM me what that means, and it better be a logical explanation. Otherwise, I'm starting the petition. Breezy is such a perfect name for the server, my guy.
No, petition has started. All right, guy. You better bring that shit back or you're done for. Oh my God.
All love. Yeah, that's the recap of the week 1 matchups. I think it was a fantastic week. I had fun watching every game, and all the banter chats afterwards. Those were fun. We're gonna move into the current standings. Since if you're keeping track of who won what there, congratulations, you're ahead of the game. But we're gonna break down the standings and what cups everybody's in currently. Heading after week 4, I think, is when the first cup is, and the first cup is Comet Cup. Pitch, do you want to go into that a little bit more for anybody who didn't read chat earlier today?
Yeah, absolutely. So, season 3, we added a new kind of style to it. So in the standings, you're not going to be based on record alone. It's going to be based on how you do in the games. With a sweep, you get awarded 3 points. If you win in game 4, you get 2 points, and if you win in game 5, you get 1 point. If you lose, you just get 0. So, with that being said, there's going to be 2 sets of cups. So, right after week 4, there will be a Comet Cup, Meteor Cup, and Lightspeed Cup. They're all pretty much just tournaments and how you can earn your team points throughout the season to kind of boost your standings. So the Comet Cup for the first set is going to be the top tier cup. That's going to be the top 4 teams in the league. The Meteor Cup, the second tier, will be the next 8, and the Lightspeed will be the bottom 4. The bottom 4 cup will be awarded the most points. That way they can kind of give themselves a shot to kind of jump up in the standings. So with that being said, these cups will take place after week 4, and you can, as a team, get them done anytime in between rounds 4 and 8. Right after 8, there will be a new set of cups that will be kind of formatted a little differently. So with the next set, we have the Mythical Apprentice and Relegations Cup. For the Mythical Cup, which is the top tier for that round, that'll be the top 6. The Apprentice Cup being the middle 6, and then the Relegations being the bottom 4. So relegations, you definitely don't want to see yourself there at that point in the season. That will be taking place between rounds 9 and 12, right before the playoffs. So it's definitely important to maybe try to win that relegations cup, because first place gets awarded 10 points for that one. So that can put you at, if you're at 13 in the standings right outside of playoffs, that'll put you up, probably into the top 12 that make the playoffs. So should be exciting. It kind of gives that dead space where there's no games being played, trying to fill those spots a little bit. But do you guys have any opinions on them? Do you think good thing, bad thing?
I'm personally excited for him. So you said it sounds like, will we still be playing our other weeks during playing these? Is that what's happening?
Yep. So like round
I-
5, round 5 comes around, and you got your matchup in the season. You could play that game, and then the next day play your first matchup of the Comic Cup or whatever you're in.
And Legends chat earlier today, our guy Mythic was talking about the next game, and I was like, I can't wait till Thursday. I want to get it done now. I want to keep playing. He's with me. We want all the smoke. Just line them up. Let's go. So he'll be excited to hear that we might be able to get 2 games in a week or whatever. So
Yeah,
excited.
that was kind of my biggest point on these. I mean, it's basically if you're in the Comic Cup, you got 4 games or 2 or 3 games to play. You're essentially playing 2 games a week. So boost the Twitch ratings a little bit.
Yeah, I love the idea of the cups. Exactly for what Shay was saying. Be able to fit in some more games. So yeah, and I'm sure there's criticism out there about them. That's what the server's for. Be sure to voice your praise, your concerns, whatever. Because as we continue to grow, as a community, we'd like to see these kind of unfold and perfect. So I'm looking forward to them. It's gonna be exciting. More Rocket League is always good.
Yeah, and don't get it twisted. Your team, if you win a cup, you're gonna be praising, I'm the Comic Cup winner. You know what I mean? So that's another thing to brag about.
Can't wait to be a cup winner and a champion.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You guys dream big.
So as of right now, everybody's following along with the standings. Comet Cup, it's sitting at Las Vegas, Philly, Galaxy, and then New York. And right now, there's no really tiebreaker other than when your game is played, right?
Yeah. Week 1, I just in order of the games that were played, that's where your standings are. I'm sure by week 4, they'll kind of be a little bit more balanced out.
Yeah. So don't come through for our throats when Galaxy, you're below Philly and you're mad about it. Don't be mad about it. You should have played before Philly.
Yeah,
As of right now, y'all are tied. Be happy. Meteor Cup. Who's sitting in there, Bacon?
We've got Monterey, Death Valley, Columbus, Palm Beach, Myrtle Beach, San Fran, the Hayes, and Memphis.
That would be a fun cup to play in. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
I like looking at the cups. I'm like, I kind of want to be in that middle one just because there's more teams.
Yeah, and with everybody watching, I just put in 3 new channels into the league category. You can check every bracket. I'm going to be changing it weekly once standings update. So you have your Comic Cup bracket, your Meteor Cup bracket, and your Lightspeed bracket, and as well as the format for them. If you go down to Season 3 Full League Schedule, that will show you what every game is played. So like game 1 would be number 4 versus number 1, number 3 versus number 2, so on and so forth.
Who you got in the Lightspeed Cup right now, bitch?
Atlanta. Hey, all the way at the bottom because they played their game last. It sucks for you.
Sorry, Atlanta.
I mean, but hey, if they win that one, let's see, the Lightspeed first place winner gets 8 points. So boost yourself up, nice.
So other teams in that, we got KC, Dallas, Omaha, above Atlanta right now. So
yeah, and I'm
that's your
sure
standings.
I'm sure that'll change come week 4. So
Yeah, we got 3 more weeks before these start, so keep a close eye. It's gonna change dramatically, I'm sure. So that's your standings. I'll run through it one more time just so you guys know. 1 through 16 is Vegas, Philly, Galaxy, New York, Monterey, or Monterey if you want to say it correctly.
I hate you.
Death Valley, Columbus, Palm Beach, Myrtle Beach, San Fran, Hayes, Memphis, Kansas City, Dallas, Omaha, and Atlanta. Anybody who's going to question why Galaxy and Hayes have their team name and not city or state, it's because they're both Houston. So that's that. We're going to move into some news of the week. Week 1 trades and signings. We kind of already touched on the Reapers' big deals there, so we probably stay away from that one. Refresher, Reapers dropped their players and signed 2 new guys. Yay.
Yay.
Bacon, you want to start with what Hayes did? And you guys carried on from there.
Yes, so we saw Hayes trade Ludo to the Bandits for Victor. And what happened next, Pitch?
Well, for one, I haven't heard anything from Victor ever since. So we'll see how that trade plays out.
Didn't Victor get dropped?
Yeah, I think he's been dropped and signed to Memphis since then. So
okay.
But yeah, I mean, right after that, I mean, this is all pre-week 1, or actually, this is after Philly's first game. But the High Rollers trade Anti-Shift, who was their main number 3 during their week 1 win over the Thunderbirds, to my team, Philadelphia. We gave them Happy and a season 4 second and third round pick for them, to kind of upgrade our sub spot. Just because me, Max, Trap, sometimes we have some weird schedules, so we definitely want to make sure we have a good sub there. Not any shade on Happy at all. He is an excellent player, and High Rollers definitely got a good sub position there.
Yeah, that seemed like more of a just a fit for you and Max.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Happy, great personality. The guy alone, I mean, we loved. It's just his play didn't really fit in with ours, so that's kind of just it's kind of just what we had to end up doing.
If you get traded or anything like that, don't take it as a slight to your game. You have your game. You might not fit with the team's game, so that's awesome that he's in a new home.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure High Rollers would get some good use out of him.
We had some craziness happen where a blue chip player just decided to not be here. And the Thunderbirds lost their blue chip player.
Yeah, this I don't understand.
This was the dumbest thing, and that pissed me off. That's a a blue chip. So a grand champ joins the league thinking they're not going to be drafted.
What?
Because
What
he
did you
doesn't
say?
know anybody.
Okay. Well,
You don't-
yeah, it
You're
this
gonna
I
get
mean
to know people.
this set all this was stupid. But Pitch, you handled it very well.
Yeah,
Made a
clap.
quick executive ruling to award Myrtle Beach 2 free agents, and I don't know how to pronounce the one dude's name.
I would
Chiron?
say Sharon. Yeah, Sharon.
Sharon, and two
Chiron?
bagels. So
Chiron's rookie? Is that what the R means?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah, that's that way they didn't have much of a loss. They were able to kind of hit the ground running with a roster. So yeah.
Yeah. Since then, we don't have it noted, but Chiron was actually just released, and he's signed for a new guy, LTZ. Not sure what he's about, but his stats look pretty good. His ratings, at least. Um, but Chiron now hits free agency, looking to be picked up. So, managers, if you need somebody, Chiron's a good player. Hit him up.
Awesome. And then we saw a homie who wanted to play last season. I think it was in the playoffs that we had him wanting to start.
Right before
before?
Knights didn't make the playoffs, but yeah, it was
Okay. Whoops, sorry. No shit.
crucial. It was a crucial game.
It was. Samu, is that how you say this?
Yeah, Samu.
Samu. He got signed by the High Rollers. That team looks scary. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he's that's everything I've heard, like GC2.
Yeah, GC and twos and threes.
Okay. So yeah, definitely uh definitely a guy. So I'm very interested to see what this team can do. They didn't have Samu for their week 1 match, right?
Nope.
And yet they walked away with a win over Myrtle. So yeah, watch out whoever plays Vegas in week 2.
Yeah, I mean that trio that they got going on over there, Chipmunk, Samu, and Wrath, that's pretty deadly. Chipmunk being one of the highest rated players without being a blue chip, that's going to say a lot coming up in this roster. I mean, absolutely killer of a starting three there for the High Rollers, and I'll tell you what, we don't play them until week 11, but I'm not looking forward to
Yeah,
that match.
we as a league screwed up. That team's OP. So
That team is OP.
yes, shortly after that, or around that, the Knights signed Demo. So that's exciting.
Yes.
I like the Knights, so I'm very curious to see how they proceed. Um, but I think getting Demo, yeah, you already touched on it a little bit earlier. I think that's a phenomenal addition for him.
Alright, so we gonna touch on the
Our
drama
biggest
that
our
happened?
biggest tea of the week.
Uh,
That should be our segment. Biggest tea of the week.
add a biggest tea of the week. We could do that.
I don't want to be the one to start it, so
I'm going to start it. Now, I will say first, unless it is for competitive reasons, we're not going to go into too much drama. But after some dramatic conversations that you all can certainly catch up on, if it's still there in the banter chat and general chat, it overflowed. Mengi, who was the manager for Houston Hayes, in their game against Galaxy, after their loss, decided to leave the server. Just poof, gone. But kudos to Smurfy stepping up to be GM of Hayes. And I just want to say, because we play Hayes week 2, and we already have our game scheduled, phenomenal managerial skills by Smurfy thus far. Immediate contender for manager of the season. So that's kind of my take on the situation.
Yeah, and Shay, they already made some moves, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
I think,
Waffles
yeah,
went over there, right?
yep.
Yikes.
um,
Thanks, Reapers.
yeah, Reapers. Whatever drama happened between them. I mean, I guess Murphy came in and cleared it all up and signed him to his team. I mean, Mangy. I mean, right in the middle of his shit talk, just goodbye.
I'm out.
I saw Hello Friend, who I think is his in real life friend, maybe.
Yeah, I believe they are real life.
Yeah, right in the middle of it, he posted in our chat. He's like, "Hey, Hayes needs a new manager."
Yeah.
I'm
What?
like, I checked the server logs and I'm like, "Oh, Mangy's gone." Okay. I thought he was gonna cool off, maybe come back, but never happened. So yeah, Smurfy stepped up, and from what I've heard, has been incredible at the manager position. So
Good guy, that's Murphy.
yeah, glad to hear that.
That transaction was Houston Hayes released Boomin and acquired Waffles. I just wanted to
Man,
put that all out.
Boomin cannot stay on a roster. Somebody's got to give
Yeah,
Boomin a shot. I've seen very little of Boomin, but I mean he's right up there with a number of people that are on rosters. So keep that in mind, managers.
yeah. So I actually talked to Boomin in the off season, and he was like, "Hey, I'm down. I'm just in two other leagues." So
Mm.
he's pretty busy. So I mean, if he doesn't answer right away, I mean, I wouldn't consider that a bad thing. I mean, but like Bacon said, I mean, he's a great player. I mean, his RL tracker, proves that. So hopefully
Three
somebody will give him a shot.
three leagues would be a tough juggle, but if he's down to do it and he can get on the right team, more power to you. All right,
Awesome.
we're coming towards the end of the docket here. We got some upcoming matchups, uh, and then we're going to talk about what's been scheduled so far. So we got next week's game of the week being Brother versus Brother with Chipmunk and Drunken Tiger. Monterey versus Las Vegas. That's going to be a fun game to watch.
That's gonna be a banger.
Also has Samu and Log in it. So it's going to be Samu's first match in the league, right? Or is it in the league period? Or
Yeah, last season he was an assistant manager for the Knights,
right.
so he never got to play. So Samu versus Log and Chipmunk versus Drunken Tiger is just going to be an absolute banger of a series to watch. I hope everybody tunes in for that one.
Get your popcorn ready.
Couple notable matchups. We have Palm Beach versus the Galaxy. So Galaxy showed that they have chemistry coming out of every orifice of their bodies, and we just saw Palm Beach pull off a crazy reverse sweep. So that will be a good matchup.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably runner up for game of the week. I mean, Palm Beach tonight absolutely showed us why they are pushing to be a number one contender, as well as Galaxy on the other side. Boomer, Koa, and Grant, they definitely have a great roster. So, I mean, that's going to be a fun one to watch.
So yeah, it's a statement game for either team. Some people might think Palm Beach got away with one tonight, having to do the reverse sweep. Some people also think that everything Galaxy did wasn't that impressive because they were going up against some chaos happening with the Haze. So both of these teams, I mean, these are pivotal games for the remainder of their season. So I'm excited to see that one as well.
That would probably be my game of the week for sure. If it wasn't for the other storylines in that Monterey versus Las Vegas with brothers going against each other and some really good talent in Samu and Log. So like, other than the storylines up there, I think Palm Beach Galaxy will probably be the matchup I'm most looking forward to. On the other hand, we also have Omaha versus Philly, which is Jay, a former champion, going against your Dragons. Another rivalry, if you can say, just because Jay was part of the team that hurt your soul.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the biggest reasons why I noted this one. But also on the other hand, without I kind of noted this before the game that happened tonight. It might not have been on the list if I saw that game first. I mean,
Well, I mean, I can see what you're saying there, but I'm now looking to see if they can fix their problem because they don't have a horrible roster. They need to find a way to make that work, and I want to see it. You guys are not a slouch of a team, so it'd be interesting to see if they can fix the problems they got going on.
That's the thing. And Jay clearly knows how to play against Anomaly. And this is a rebound game, and it's not quite a must-win because it's a 12-week season, but this is a perfect matchup for them to try to rebound against. You guys are by no means a superpower, but you're nothing but chemistry. So you're going to give them your best, and I mean this is a hurdle they have to overcome if they want to see a positive outlook on the season.
yeah,
If they perform in that game, it'll be big for them.
Hmm.
They're not even necessarily win it, but if they perform well.
yeah. I think one of the big advantages that I have, Code was on my team on Philadelphia all of season one and almost half of season two. So I kind of got an idea of how this guy plays. I mean, we also at the same time we play a lot of six mans together. Um, so Code, I feel like we can kind of shut down. I mean, I'm kind of confident on that side. JT is always a wild card. Like you said, he can definitely show what he can do against Anomaly. But I also don't think JT knows how much me and Trap vibe together. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to be a fun matchup. Hope everybody joins in for all of these games that we're talking about. And by the way, while I'm at it, let me just mention you guys on Twitch are absolutely amazing. We're like averaging like 25 viewers a game, and I love all of you. So thank you guys for that.
Yeah, keep that love and support up because the more people we see in there, the more fun it is to one cast it and get new people to cast it, and that'll be good times. Pitch, you want to go ahead and tell them what games we have scheduled so far? I know our game, but I don't know if there's any before that.
Yeah, so as of right now, we're recording this on Friday night. As of right now we have the Stallions in D2. They're going to go up against each other on Monday, the 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern. And we also have a holiday Easter Sunday showdown. We got the Death Valley Reapers going up against the Memphis Mafia at noon. That'll be at Eastern time as well. So look forward for that one. Get a little bit of Rocket League watching in your system before you go eat some nice dinner. And like you guys said, Legends are going up against Hayes at 9 p.m. on Thursday, the 13th. Um, yeah, some week two matchups already scheduled. So yeah, look forward to them.
Can't wait to play Kaipo.
Hmm.
That hothead.
Bacon, you know a lot about the RLCS, and I'm sure everyone listening cares a little bit. Do you want to go through what we're going to be seeing happen?
Yeah, this is your guys' scene, so take over here.
We can just do a quick wrap up here. So if you weren't aware, or if you are, whatever, the Winter Major is taking place this weekend. It started yesterday, Thursday, and will carry through Easter. They've just finished group play on Friday. FaZe, Complexity, KC, and Team Liquid winning their groups. But Saturday, we've got Falcons versus Gen G. We got Secret versus Crew, G2 versus Ground Zero, and Oxygen versus Vitality. So be sure to tune into that as well. Get your drops. Make sure everything is linked. Everybody likes free items in Rocket League, even if they're terrible. So yeah.
I haven't gotten anything good in for so long. It's annoying. But I'll have it on because I'm a sucker for free things. Um, Other than that, you guys got anything else you guys want to add to this?
I appreciate anybody listening that did. Definitely let us know in the Discord if you have any questions, concerns, constructive criticism, anything like that, things we can work on, things you want to see or hear us touch on. Be sure to reach out. It's community, guys.
Yeah, and the thing I'd like to mic drop on is G2 sucks.
Well, we're not going to mic drop
Okay.
on that. So, actually, if you could just cut that out, Bacon, we'd be happy. I just want to end it by saying, I love this community. I was wary about joining, which is why I wasn't in the first or the season 2 draft. Everyone talked me into becoming a free agent and just getting to know everybody, even chirping and banter and stuff. It's all fun, guys. It's a great time. I love it. And bear with us here with the podcast. We will get better. We'll tweak things. It'll become fluid, and I'm going to have fun recapping each week for you guys. So appreciate you listening.
Yeah, love to have you guys here with us in the RLGLA community. It's been nothing but a blessing so far. Look forward, everybody. I mean, we would love to have some guests coming on soon. Yeah, I mean that's going to be one of our biggest things to look forward for. Bacon Shade, I can't thank you enough for how much you guys have done for me in the league, and yeah, this is just going to be a fun season.
RLGLA did it perfect.